Welcome back to Computer Science Principles. This is Unit 3, Intro to App Design. So welcome to this next unit. We're going to start off with Lesson 1, which is Introduction to Apps. For our warm-up, what are apps? How do we interact with them? What kind of things do apps do? All right, so you have plenty of apps on your phones. Answer this question, pause. All right, welcome back. Let's get into it. Activity. So I'm going to go ahead, you need to get to code.org, and I'm going to get there as well. I'm going to show you this, but there are these apps that you are going to use for this. Again, this is Lesson 1 on Unit 3. So make sure you go to Unit 3, Lesson 1, Level 2, and then you're going to kind of browse through these, and when you're done, you're going to pick one of them. And you're going to pick one of them so you can answer these questions. So again, go ahead and pause here, pick your app, answer these questions. All right, welcome back. So again, that each of the app you picked, you should have answered what does the user interact with, they touch buttons, blah, 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 what do they do, what is the purpose of it, and who do you think the intended audience is? Who's supposed to use the app? All right, I'm gonna watch a quick video and then we're gonna keep on this.
My name is Maylee Koo, and I'm a designer and an inventor. So some of the things I've designed have been at Apple, and now I design products for kids to use so that they can have an easier time in school. My other jobs include DJing and dancing. Computers are everywhere. They're in people's pockets, they're in people's cars, people have them on their wrists, they might be in your backpack right now. But what makes a computer a computer?
What does make a computer anyway?
And how does it even work?
Hi, I'm Nat. I was one of the original designers of the Xbox. I've been working with computers since I was maybe 7 years old, and now I work on virtual reality. As humans, we've always built tools to help us solve problems. Tools like a wheelbarrow, a hammer, or a printing press, or a tractor trailer. All of these inventions helped us with manual work. Over time, people began to wonder if a machine could be designed and built to help us with the thinking work we do, like solving equations or tracking the stars in the sky. Rather than moving or manipulating physical things like dirt and stone, these machines would need to be designed to manipulate information.
As the pioneers of computer science explored how to design a thinking machine, they realized that it had to perform 4 different tasks. It would need to take input, store information, process it, and then output the results. Now, this might sound simple, but these 4 things are common to all computers. And that's what makes a computer a computer.
The earliest computers were made out of wood and metal, with mechanical levers and gears. By the 20th century, though, computers started using electrical components. These early computers were really large and really slow. A computer the size of a room might take hours just to do a basic math problem.
These machines are things of gleaming, vari-colored metal and numerous flashing lights.
Computers started out as basic calculators, which was already really awesome at the time, and they were only manipulating numbers back then. But now we can use them to talk to each other, we can use them to play games, control robots, and do any crazy thing that you could probably imagine.
Modern computers look nothing like those clunky old machines, but they still do these same 4 things.
First, we're going to talk about input. This is my favorite because what input is the stuff that the world does or that you do that makes the computer do stuff. You can tell a computer what to do with the keyboard, you can tell them what to do with the mouse, the microphone, the camera, and now if you're wearing a computer on your wrist, it might listen to your heartbeat, or in your car, it might be listening to what the car is doing, and a touch screen can actually sense your finger, and it takes that as input on what it's doing.
All these different inputs give a computer information, which is then stored in memory. A computer's processor takes information from memory, it manipulates it or changes it using an algorithm, which is just a series of commands, and then it sends the processed information back to be stored in memory again. This continues until the processed information is ready to be output. How a computer outputs information depends on what the computer is designed to do. A computer display can show text, photos, videos, or interactive games, even virtual reality. The output of a computer may even include signals to control a robot. And when computers connect over the internet, the output from one computer becomes the input to another, and vice versa.
The computers we use today look really different from the earliest thinking machines. And who knows what the computers of tomorrow will be like. My hope is that you get to help decide what you want the computers of tomorrow to look like. But across all computers, regardless of the different types of technology they use, they're always doing the same 4 things. They take in information, they store it as data, they process it, and then they output the results.
So if we just stop and kind of take a look at that as we go through these apps, it's kind of what they do, right? You take an input, it stores the input, it does something with input, and there's an output. Whether it be you're going to make a phone call, you input the number, it stores the number, it looks up the number, makes the call, and then the output is it making the call, right? So we're going to be kind of looking through that as we go through. So with this, we want you to go back through, pick the same one you did, and now your goal is, so this is now start at level 8. What I want you to figure out is what are the inputs and the outputs. So go ahead and pause here. What are the inputs and the outputs? All right, welcome back. Let's go ahead and wrap this up with think of your favorite app, and then go ahead and write it down in your journal, right? So think of your favorite app, write it down, and then what does the user interface look like? The user interface is how you interact with it, touching it, blah, blah, blah. And then what are the inputs and what are the outputs? So again, this should take you a little bit. Give yourself time to answer, think of your favorite app, and then go ahead and write it down. You don't have a partner. And then put it, what it looks like down there, right? And finally, to wrap this up, the user interface is where you interact with the device, sometimes called a GUI, a graphical user interface. Input is clicking, arrows, typing, whatever you might be doing, and the output could be a file, a song, a picture, all kinds of different things. So with that, that's the end of this lesson. We'll see you next lesson.